twin pregnancies are typically the double trouble kind of a phenomenon, especially in the context of preterm births. And it is believed that preterm births are at not less but very, very phenomenal, nearly 65% risk of preterm births. And then the question comes, not all preterm birth, all twin pregnancies, the question comes that not all twin pregnancies land up in preterm birth, while there are only few who would land up in preterm birth, and therefore there is a controversy whether we should do a cervical encerclage for all our patients of twin pregnancies, or should we just use it very, very selectively. And I am of the belief that it has to be used selectively. And the reason why I believe in this particular thing is it has been studied wonderfully, and this is a published paper in 2016 which have studied a different kind of patterns of change in the sonographic cervical length in twin gestations. And what have they observed? And I agree to this particular paper that there is an observation that there are 4 different patterns which have been identified in the cervical change which occurs in twin gestation during pregnancy. So what are these 4 patterns? Pattern number 1 is called as the stable cervix. So what happens is there is no change in the cervical parameters until the time that the patient goes into labor. Her cervix remains of the length of 37.2 plus minus 3.3 mm, and nearly 44% of the patients have this kind of a pattern. While there is pattern number 2, which is pattern B, which has been identified as early rapid shortening. So if you do a transvaginal cervical surveillance, you will find that the shortening rate in this particular pattern would be at the rate of 2.3 plus minus 1.1 millimeters per week, and nearly 5% of patients would have such a kind of presentation where there will be a sudden drop in the cervical effacement over time, from starting on from as early as 16 weeks going on to 28. So in this particular study, the observation in this twin gestations was made from the gestational age of 16 weeks onwards at various timelines to see what is the change in the cervical pattern on ultrasonography. The pattern 3 which was described in this study is the late shortening pattern, wherein in the beginning there is a plateau for a while where the length was averaging between 36 millimeters plus minus 5.7 millimeters, while somewhere around 22 weeks of gestation there was a steady decline in the cervical length. And this beginning of shortening was typically found between 22 to 23 weeks of gestation, and the shortening rate was to the tune of 3 plus minus 1.7 millimeters per week. And these were the women who steadily went to shorten till 30 weeks of gestation. And about 24% of women had this type of a cervical shortening pattern. And the pattern number 4 was early shortening with plateau. So when they were studied from 16 weeks onwards, they had an early shortening by 19 to 20 weeks of gestation, beginning to plateau at around 25 to plus minus 3 millimeters at the time of the shortening start, and then they shortened, but then they plateaued, and they plateaued somewhere around 20 weeks of gestation, continuing to do so till 30 weeks of gestation. So the proportion of women in the study group having each of the distinct patterns is noted at the lower left corner of each graph, and this was from the 16 weeks onwards, and there these showed that there are various patterns of shortening in twin pregnancies, and we have to have a sensitivity to identify this. Going ahead and doing universal cervical encerclage for all twin gestations at 16 weeks would not be logical, because it would be unnecessary in those 45% of the patients, or in additionally those 26% of the patients when there is a late plateauing. And therefore, there would be only those 20-25% of the patients who have a late shortening or an early rapid shortening who would actually benefit from the cervical encerclage. And therefore, it is very difficult to identify whether truly they will benefit or not. Because if they are going to shorten, even if you put in a cervical encerclage, it may not help. And therefore, naturally, there should probably be a consideration for using other mechanisms of trying to control this rapid shortening. As we know that shortening of the cervix is a result of an inflammatory response of the body, which goes and changes the architecture of the cervix induced by various prostaglandin and metalloproteinase related activities. And if these can be curbed, such kind of a presentation definitely can be controlled.